so JoJo Siwa is still going completely off the rails, and most recently she graced the cover of a publication called Lady Gun, and we're going to show you
Super
these
hot.
images.
Super hot.
She is in this cover shoot wearing a bedazzled breastplate, I suppose, of a male torso, as well as a bedazzled groin cup over her crotch. So, Brett, I'm gonna have to ask you to show.
Yeah, I gotta find. It's not in the. It's not loading. Yeah, there it is. Hold on.
Yeah.
Here we go.
There were a lot of reactions to this, mostly negative, understandable.
There you are, guys.
And,
Lovely.
Look at that freaking picture, man. Jeez.
That's just
Lovely.
It's not a look.
It's not a look.
It's not a look. So in this interview, the interviewer said to JoJo, "You're the master of the attention economy." And JoJo said, "Thank you. I'm an attention whore." She just openly said it. That's her only goal. It doesn't matter if you're saying something bad about her or if you're saying something celebrating her.
Yeah.
She just wants attention no matter what it is or who it's from, which she's bragging about, but I think is actually a really bad sign for the path that she's on.
Oh.
Because that just means the ends justify the means. I'll do literally anything
I mean, that's what it is
to get
for
a reaction.
A lot of the people on social media. There is a certain level once you get to it on social media. Me and you have had this discussion before. Like, to reach a certain level of fame on social media, you have to become very comfortable with the idea that people will willingly misrepresent you to people who don't have ill intentions. So then you will be misrepresented and misunderstood. And for a lot of people, that's not easy to do. But for the people today that do become super famous, it's something they have to live with every day.
Yeah, you either have to be born a sociopath or become a sociopath to be successful as an influencer or celebrity of some kind.
Yeah.
To be that okay with people laughing at you instead of laughing with you.
Or with people misrepresenting what you believe and not taking the time to correct each and every person that does that.
Yeah, exactly. So this is getting more and more worrying with each sentence. JoJo's brain constantly aggregates content. Everything she does seems to become a headline or trending topic. JoJo often discusses her rise to fame or notoriety as a plan. She sees herself as a curator of attention, collecting the internet's energy and perceptions.
Jeez.
She also talked about how she was deeply influenced by Jake Paul and Logan Paul during her childhood and decided from that point on that she would do anything to mirror their rise to fame. And it, at times has proven successful for them, but they've also had their own missteps and controversies throughout that time. But she said, I pulled so much of my marketing and inspiration from them back in the day because when I was 13, 14, 15, they were all I wanted to be. Their views, numbers, their marketing, they were geniuses. But the things they did, all I wanted to do was be them. And so I figured, how can I do that but in my world? JoJo is 21 now, and she is, retired her childlike persona and her child-friendly brand for something much more performatively raunchy.
Correct.
And she's trying to break out of that Nickelodeon past. And in doing so is becoming one of the most hated people on the internet and seems to think of that as a good thing.
Because it's contrived and it doesn't feel natural or authentic in any way. But authentic doesn't really matter anymore.
Nope. Clicks.
Yeah, she's very clear about that. And it honestly surprises me that someone could just say this out loud and not think it makes them sound like a dangerous narcissistic person. She said, everyone always tells me that you need to open a marketing company. And I tell them, I wish I could, but I literally can't. The only thing I know how to market is myself.
I was telling you before the show, I was reading this article about the next generation. I read a lot about Gen Z in the workplace and how they differ from millennials. And one of the things this article was talking about is how Gen Z they're not really focused on getting higher end jobs at companies, because the only thing they really know how to do is to market their own brand. They only know how to market themselves, which is also just a sign of an increasing level of narcissism in our culture. And it certainly affects people far beyond just Gen Z. Millennials have that too, but they weren't born into it the same way that Gen Z and Gen Alpha will have been.
I think that the old celebrities used to have more of a covert narcissism, which has transitioned in the social media age to overt narcissism. And it's no longer seen as having any negative connotations, to just be obsessed with yourself and do the most undignified things just to get a reaction of shock.
Well, it's because we've tied it into the idea now that you're beautiful just the way you are. You don't need to change anything. You don't have any flaws, right? It's not that you need to eat better. It's that you have ARFID. It's not that you're narcissistic. It's that you have high self-esteem. You love yourself.
Well, if I had to like armchair and not like analyze JoJo Siwa, I think that JoJo wasn't born a sociopath. I think she was made a sociopath by starting out in her career on TV as like an 8-year-old child. Being the most hated person on this reality show, Dance Moms, getting constantly verbally abused by this insane dance instructor. And now she kind of has come to embody that person. Like she's becoming her own tormentor. She said, I learned at a very young age that in the public eye, any attention is attention, good or just attention. I signed with new management. They're great. But they were like, we got to get people to rally around you and start to like you. And I was like, oh no, that's not the point.
I can't.
Oh wait, she said no, that's not the point.
She doesn't want to be liked.
I cannot impress upon you enough how much I do not understand that sentiment. Like it runs completely contrary to the way, like, if anything, like I would probably worry too much about how I'm perceived and worry about correcting, misconceptions about me if somebody says something, a lot of times done in bad faith, willingly misinterpreting what you've said, but I'll never understand that. I will never be one of the people that believes that the ends justify the means when it comes to fame.
JoJo doesn't want to be pretty. She wants to be seen and talked about. She has successfully imprinted herself in the pop culture zeitgeist, becoming a character larger than herself. Her desire for a Miley Cyrus bangers era has been fulfilled. From youth, she transitioned a reality TV show as a child into a billion-dollar empire of bows and sweet images plastered across t-shirts and singing toothbrushes, and yet no one has fully figured out what it is about her that keeps people coming back. She said, my favorite thing to do on this earth is entertain and make people smile and laugh, whether or not they are laughing with me or laughing at me. Obviously, no one likes being hated, but I enjoy being entertaining, and that's how people are entertained. So she's just resigned herself to being a clown.
Yeah, she's going to, yep.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't care if people have any respect for her. She doesn't care about doing anything that matters. She just cares about getting attention, and she's saying all of this as if it's praiseworthy, which is really worrying.
Yeah, I can't impress upon everyone enough how weird that is to me.
It's actual, just clinical sociopathy. Like, that's what it is.
Well,
no normal person should think this way or thinks this way, period.
The scary thing about that is that it's being bred into the next generation of people just by virtue of what it will take to set yourself apart from your peers in the world of social media. Meaning that everyone who gets famous will probably have to accept this as the path forward in some way, shape, or form.
She might become like too hated, and she's gonna lose it all. I'm hoping. I'm not hoping for that. I don't want bad things to happen, but she's just it's gonna backfire.
For her, the worst case scenario is falling into obscurity.
Yeah.
So being hated is actually better than that.
The opposite of love isn't hate. The opposite of love is indifference. That's what they say. So she doesn't care as long as you're not indifferent to her.
Right. Yeah. Here were some of the reactions, which I guess is exactly what she wanted. One said, the way that JoJo's only way to remain relevant is by shock value and making people talk about her negatively. Another one said, I feel JoJo has really lost her way and doesn't know her own identity. She's trying too hard and it's not her. There's no her. Like, there's no JoJo. There's no person behind the mask. She literally said, like, the part of myself that I don't show to the public is the part of myself that's controlling everything.
Yeah.
And controlling, like, pulling all the strings to get reactions. There's no inner self there. It's literally just a machine.
Or
it's just
if
a product.
it may be something that she comes to terms with later and will be horrified by what she's done.
You can only hope, but I don't think that you've seen that pattern in almost anyone else who's gone down a similar path.
Yeah.
Like Miley Cyrus, for instance, one of her main inspirations.
Yeah.
Another one said, I just want to know if she's in therapy for whatever she may have went through to cause this. That's really it. Another one said, this is the aftermath of a Diddy party. She needs to fire her management team. Raise your hand if you've been personally victimized by JoJo Siwa. I'm going to raise my hand. I can't exactly explain how she victimized me, but
trust me, it's true.
When I saw those photos, it was definitely an emotionally disturbing experience.
Yes.
Her baseball cup.
Another one said, why is it that I open Instagram and get a full face of Golden Cup? Some people were defending this, though. Some people thought, this was actually first time for JoJo actually serving a look. They said, I don't know if this was the intention, but this shoot kind of eats. It's the reverse of drag. A woman takes a male figure and warps it into a bedazzled entity. Why is it serving C-word when drag queens do it, but it's shock value when a woman does it? And I would just say, keep me out of all of it.
Yeah.
I don't think that it's particularly original or daring when any of these people do it because, Madonna was a thing.
That was a long time ago.
That was quite a long time ago. It was actually far more simple to be controversial and shocking back then.
Well, yeah, what you see is just the ramping up of shock value because it takes way more to shock people these days. And let's face it, this isn't shocking.
No.
The statements about her personality are shocking. The outfit she's wearing isn't shocking. If she wanted to shock people, they would have just put the text from the interview on the cover.
Right, yeah. The quote of her calling herself an attention whore.
Yeah.
That's kind of the more shocking part, is that JoJo isn't really a person anymore. Honestly, the end of that Meat Canyon parody about her Karma music video, where she's in this zoo enclosure and people are taking pictures of her and she's like having a seizure from the flash.
It became pretty
like that
pretty
was
accurate.
pretty dark.
That's how she does her little dance.
But unfortunately accurate.
Yeah.
This person is merely a husk of who they could have been because she had a stage mother that pushed her into this. As much as she can deny it and say this is what she wants, like,
she doesn't know anything else.
She doesn't know anything else, so how would she know if this is what she wants?
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.